we hear a lot of, I just don't know how to price my services.
Where do I even start with pricing?
There's hard work and there's hard work. There's like two very different variations of that.
I just find that really interesting that your immediate kind of starting point was that, and my immediate starting point was doing it a completely different way, but both ways work.
Because in my mind, I was like, if I'm doing up to 60 and 80-hour weeks in that full-time job, then I can just replace that with dog training. So I wasn't time poor. What was the turning point for you? Can you remember? Because I feel like that much has happened over the last few years. It's like, when did we all start thinking it was a bit different? I was going to start singing the Gin Genie because I'm in my genie shoes today.
Wow.
The Joe Genie.
You've got a pair of Toms on.
They feel like genie shoes.
They're not very supportive, are they, those shoes?
Don't know, first time I'm wearing them.
Yeah.
Just a little flash at the camera, just in case you haven't seen them.
They're like canvas loafers for anyone that doesn't know what we're talking about.
Loafer. I'm down for that.
Okay. Anyway, Toms aside, what are we chatting about today? Moorcroft.
Pricing strategy, I feel.
Oh, that sounds very serious.
It does, doesn't it?
Yeah. Is it?
Yes, but we're not going to make it serious because it's us, let's face it.
Mm-hmm.
So what do we hear a lot of? We hear a lot of, I just don't know how to price my services.
Where do I even start with pricing?
Not knowing what to, I mean, it's kind of the same thing, but you just don't know what to ask for, do you, for your service? You're like,
it's like stabbing around in the dark, isn't it?
Yeah.
To sort of set it at a certain point, I suppose, isn't it?
Where did you get your pricing strategy from? Was it given to you through puppy school?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, it was. Yes, it was. I had a small recollection in my brain. Yes, it was given to me by pub school. There was a lower limit that you couldn't charge any less, but you could charge more if you wanted. But there was that fear around, I can't charge too much more because no one else does.
What did you do after you left?
What do you mean?
Well, when you wasn't with puppy school anymore, what was your pricing strategy then, or did you just keep it?
I pushed it up a little bit.
Well, like a tenner.
Yeah, literally, yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, I think probably was. I think it went from 65 to 80.
What, for a puppy class?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah, 80 was the most it ever was for a 6-week course. But that was, when did I stop doing those? 20-ish, maybe.
Pandemic year.
Yeah, maybe.
The year it all went tits up.
Yeah, I think it was. Yeah.
Interesting. I don't even know where I got my pricing strategy from. I think it was initially. Do you know, I genuinely can't remember. I think we got informed on how to do your almost like the structure of the service. So because I predominantly just went into one-to-one training. One session, consult, 3 sessions or 5 sessions. That was it. And I think we were instructed to do it as, or advised, I should say, not instructed, because it was just a mentoring type program. It wasn't, you had to do it. But it was that bronze, silver, gold package type of deal.
Mm-hmm.
So you 1, 3, 5 session. And I think the price points were suggested as well. And at
that point, was it literally just 1 session, 3 sessions and 5 sessions that someone got? They didn't get anything else?
Yeah, no, just that.
That's it.
Yeah. So like you essentially what would it work out as? 1 hour, 3 hours, 5 hours, 60-minute sessions. And even though back then, so this is what, 11 years ago-ish now, 10, 11 years, we were told to think about the additional things like allowance for your travel and all of that, but it was almost like here's a guideline of what your prices could be, but for no valid reason or seemingly no valid reason. Yeah, it was like it was consider your travels, like your fuel and everything, consider that, but ultimately these are kind of a good benchmark, if you will. And again, you don't tend to question things, do you? You're like, oh, okay, cool. And then you do like a little quick search around everyone else and you're like, okay, yeah, you're kind of doing the same thing.
I'll put myself in the middle.
Yeah, like I'll go there. So I think mine were, I can't remember what one session was. I want to say like 90 or something. It was like 90, a 200-ish figure, maybe like 250 and then a 350. So the theory being that it discounted the more sessions you bought.
Yeah.
So yeah, 350 was my max for 5 hours work is what your brain tells yourself. But it's not 5 hours work, is it?
No.
It's more like each session realistically was about 3 hours because you'd always overstay and the travel would be up to an hour in some cases because, you know, back then I was like, I just want the work in.
And whatever notes you might send or videos like you might have created, like you've got to add that on, haven't you? Yeah, I remember when I started dog walking, and that again is like the same. You just look at what everyone else offers in the local area. But I remember doing solo dog walks for half an hour, and that was £15, which it was a lot. Like, there was nobody else that was doing like 30 minutes was normally like £7 or something. And I was like, fuck that. Like, if I'm only going to walk a dog for 30 minutes, which has got my undivided attention, I'm putting it at £15. And I remember thinking, and this kind of just proves the pricing thing, because I remember thinking, well, I probably won't get any of those. And actually it's fine if I don't, because the group dog walks were your kind of bread and butter, like you can get more in. And do you know, it was so popular, that half an hour, 30-minute solo walk was really popular. And I ended up having, like, I remember one day a week, I used to have like 3 walks or something. And it was a real challenge to fit 2 group walks and 3 solo walks. And then if I had like pop-in visits for cats or whatever. And I remember my day being so jam-packed, but never really thinking, I could just do this solo walk thing and I could make that my thing. I never thought like that, but it never put people off the price, actually. It was the value behind you're getting your dog walked on its own. Usually it was dogs that had a bit of an issue, you know, couldn't be walked with others or were older or something like that. But yeah, like never put people off. And I was way the most expensive in the area.
I came across a dog walker the other day who was £25. I don't know for the length of time, but I was like,
yeah,
I'm happy to see that it's
on
going
the upper
up.
side. Yeah.
I'm happy to see it's rising. Well, everything else is bloody rising, isn't it?
Well, exactly.
Jesus Christ, my food shop the other day. Whew.
Fuel, car repairs, as you well know, Joe, they're all going up. Contentious subject there.
You had to slide it in,
I
didn't
did
you?
have to slide it in, you know.
My car's broken. Her and Gareth are very smug about the fact that it's broken.
I'm not.
It's a very
smug.
much, I told you so moment, and they're reveling in
I
it.
have never said the words, I told you so. My husband, on the other hand, may have told you this.
He said to me this morning, actually, if money was no object, he'd get one of those cars. He'd get a new one.
Would he?
Yep. Putting it out there.
Oh, okay. But he would get rid of it after 3 years.
Well, regardless, he'd still get one. So therefore, I'm good.
Okay. We digress onto
We
cars.
do, however, still money though, and how to price things, because what was the turning point for you? Can you remember? Because I feel like that much has happened over the last few years. It's like, when did we all start thinking it was a bit different? I think the turning point for me was when... It might have been around pandemic time, you know, or maybe, no, it was when I was leaving the job, the proper job, and going all in. And I remember sitting down and trying to look at the figures, because I hadn't really had to worry about the figures prior to that, because I was on a decent salary. I was on like that 70k, and
it was a bit of pocket money, I suppose, for you.
It was just, I didn't really, I wasn't money driven for the dog business. I wanted it to work, but at that time in my life, I was like, I just love it. Just love it so much. I love being able to go to all these conferences. I love being able to do all the CPD stuff. And I'm just in that obsessive bubble of being a dog geek. And then when it became reality, that was like, actually, no, I do want to do this full time. I think it forced me to really consider those numbers, because I was giving up a decent whack of cash coming in every month. And I think I'd sat down and worked out that, I mean, I can't remember the exact figures now. I could probably do it if I had a calculator and you all were prepared to listen to me figure out the math, but we won't do that. But 350 times however many clients I needed to hit like 3.5, 4K coming in each month. And some months were 5K because I was on commission as well for different things. I was like, fuck, that's quite a lot to sell. And even though I would have had a lot more time because I was switching out Because in my mind, I was like, if I'm doing up to 60 and 80-hour weeks in that full-time job, then I can just replace that with dog training. So I wasn't time poor. I didn't have kids either, which was a massive time saver. But even then I was like, that's a lot of people I need to see to be hitting those between 3.5 and 5K months at 350, and that's the top package. And it just didn't make sense to me.
Look at me. When I decided to ditch the dog walking, I was like, how the hell? Like, because when I started chatting to you, we were looking at it going, how the hell are you how many people do you need to service a month to be able to equate to that? Because I used to bring in about, I want to say like...
It sounds really weird the way you phrase that then.
Why?
How many people do you need to service?
But that is the thing. That is what we're doing, servicing people. Smutty. So, I've gone off track now. What was good? Oh, so the dog walking used to bring in around 2K a month. And then I'd say the dog training brought in not that much really. And it should have been the other way around. And
yeah, it was totally
it was totally like backwards, wasn't it? So there I am with my passion as a dog trainer. I've done all this, like I've got all this knowledge. It's my favourite thing in the world to do. And yet what I'm doing every day is spending my day dog walking, which I didn't hate. I'm not going to say I hated it.
God, definitely don't say
God,
you
I'm not going to
hated
say that. Pitchforks at me again. I didn't hate it at all. It was great and it served a really good purpose and it was a good income really for what I needed then. It was a good supplementary income.
And you did enjoy it.
And actually I did enjoy it. And it was, you know, sort of generally speaking, I would start at, if I just had like a day of dog walking, I'd start at 10, finish by 3. Great. And then invariably I'd go off training of an evening. And that worked really well for me and Gareth with the dogs and stuff. So like it fitted my lifestyle. I brought in enough money from it, but it was totally wrong in the way I should be doing things. And then I remember like sort of talking to you and saying, I remember you saying like the dog walking. So why are we doing that? I was like, because it brings in like the money. And you were like, but why can't the training bring in the money? And I was like, well, the way things are structured at the moment, there's no way. Like imagine how many people I've got to service to be able to equate to that wage. And you were like, well, we can look at doing things differently then. And I was like, oh, okay. And it was only then, that's the turning point for me to go like, if I'm going to remove that part of that income, then I need to make that work better. It can't be how it is now because I will literally be run ragged and I will not enjoy it at all. And again, it was questioning the results that people were getting from the way I was currently doing things. And it wasn't for me. I never felt satisfied with what I was like, basically what people were getting from working with me. And there was always that underlying current of like, something's off, something doesn't feel right, don't know what to do about it because I don't have the knowledge. So that was it for me, really. I had to find something that worked better in that time that I'd got.
Yeah. It's so I think it's so weird, isn't it? Like when you try and reflect and look back on things, like you'd like to say all of this was purposeful, like this was in the plan all along, and it wasn't. It's just kind of fell into our lap, so to speak, and then you start running with it and you start testing it and you're like, oh, actually this makes sense and this bit doesn't, and then let's tweak and fix that. And I think I remember looking at that pricing bit then, so when I was moving into doing the dog training full time and realizing that those numbers didn't stack up at all, I was like, I've got to do something different here. And at that time, being completely honest, my brain literally just went to, well, I just need to get more clients and I've just got to work more hours.
Yeah, because that's what you would automatically go to, isn't it?
I was like, there is no way in a million years. My initial thought was, well, just increase your fees.
No.
Increase your fees and ask for more. I was like, nope, I need to do more. So I ended up spending more money on bark.com. Back in the day when it was like £1 or something to get a lead.
See, I've only just realised that bark is not exclusive to the dog industry, is it?
I realised this several years ago.
I never knew this.
You can get like plumbers and
well, we were talking to a guy
it.
yesterday.
Yes, the heating
engineer
engineer
that used bark. Yeah.
Did you only really just figure this out? Wow. Okay.
I never know. Why is it called bark?
I don't know. I genuinely thought the same thing.
Plumbers use it. Why is it called
somebody told me about bark all these years ago, and that's where I kind of got a few leads initially. And then I was just convinced, because I'm new into dog world, I'm like a baby dog trainer now, that this is a specific place that people go for dog training inquiries.
I think it's because I've never used it. I've never needed to use it, and it's not. And I've only just realised that you kind of have to like go me. Like that's like to get the lead.
Yeah, it is a weird system because you, as a business that uses it to get leads, it'd work in a way. So, like, say you put your details on now for a dog trainer, and then you hit my criteria that I put in. So as a business profile, I would go, I'm looking for people who put in puppy training for something and within this area. Can't remember what else. I think you can put in a bit more criteria. And if you then met my criteria, it would ping a notification to me to say, there's a new lead. Vicky's looking for a puppy trainer in Redditch. Do you want her contact details? And I'd go, yes, I do. So I'd click purchase and I would have to pay for your details. For back then it was like £1. I think it went up to £2. I don't know what it is now. Might be nearer like 10 or something.
Wow.
Wow. Our industry is relatively cheap on that lead source. Like looking at, so if you were like a web designer, you could be paying £40 for a contact number.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
I didn't realise it was all different either until I started looking into all these things. But then I could ring you and be like, oh, hi, Vicky, it's Jo. You've just put your request on Bark, and I'd have to literally try and sell you. So completely cold.
And it sort of breeds this whole like drive down the price, doesn't it? Do you think? Like, because the cheapest one wins, basically.
Well,
would you say that's the case for the most part?
Well, not necessarily, because I was fortunate enough that I didn't make every sale, but again, I think if you're going with the expectation that you're going to do that, then you're going to struggle. But I got a good few clients off of Bark, and they paid the $350. This was back in the day as well. Like how this even worked is beyond me, because this was back in the day where I would blast them with an email because I was too scared to pick up the phone. I'd be like, oh, hi, Vicky, I've now got your email address.
Oh, right. So you wouldn't even speak to them a lot of the time. Okay.
No, I didn't initially. I was too scared. Didn't want to pick up the phone. So I'd email them, like, hi, I'm Jo. I'm a recently qualified dog trainer. I've been working with Sarah Whitehead and I've studied this and I've done that and here's all my qualifications. And actually go and check out Sarah because Sarah's awesome. She's been on TV, blah, blah, blah. Go and basically just sold Sarah and said that she's picked me. She's picked me to be her mentee. So I must be doing something right if she's picked me. And do you want me? And this is how you can work with me and you can have this one thread. Didn't even know anything about you. Like nothing. So how I made any sales off of that is beyond me. But it was a different time.
Yeah.
It was 10 years ago. And I still think you'll get the odd one, won't you? Like there's always going to be something. But that's essentially what I did. So my thought process was I just need to do more of that then. And I'm quite happy to work as many hours as it takes because I love the thing. Because at that point in my life, I was like, I love it that much compared to what I was already doing. If that was my new life, if I got to do 80 hours a week doing dog training, I'm good.
Yeah, you'd switch it out and it'd be okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I think my immediate thought was, I'll just put like 20 classes a week on or something.
Oh, God.
No, but that's, again, I never thought to increase my prices or change the structure. I was like, I'll just do more of them. I'll just hire the hall more, put more on. And actually, it probably would have worked because I had the demand. I've filled classes consistently. I never had a lead generation problem. Like I'd been around for that long that, and it sounds really cocky to say it, but I had a good name in the area. And a lot of people knew me. I had a lot of repeat people. Most of my business was referrals, word of mouth. So I could have done that. But how long would I have lasted doing 20 classes a week?
Well, yeah, this is it, isn't it?
I think absolutely hated it. I know I would have.
So you do get to that point where, and again, like, I think some of you will be able to relate to this and others, maybe you're still in that early part of the journey where everything's like incredible and it should never not be incredible.
Yeah.
But I think there is differences as you go. Just the longer you're in any business, like you'll learn to go like, oh, you kind of, it's like being in a relationship, isn't it? It's like, it's all exciting to begin with. And now it's like,
yeah,
now
you
it's
kind
like,
of go,
fuck off with your hugs, go away.
You resent it a little bit, because that's the thing, like, because I was doing classes and there was lots of physical stuff, you know, you're setting things up, you know, putting everything down at the end. Lots of just, I don't know, not only have you got to give your all in that class and you're trying to accommodate everybody, you are physically exhausted from all of the moving, everything. And imagine I was doing that times 20. There'd be times when I'd do up to, like, doing the dog walking as well and one-to-ones, like, in a week. I'd sometimes put on 6 to 8 classes a week anyway. So can you imagine if I was doing 20 of those plus more one-to-ones and all the other rest of it? Like, I ended up literally resented it, hating it. And, you know, and I'd probably got to the point where I'd lost the love for it a little bit by that point anyway. But I'd have literally just gone, this is not worth the hassle.
Yeah. And that's it. It's like, there's hard work and there's hard work. Yeah. There's like 2 very different variations of that. So I think looking at your pricing, a good place we always suggest to start is look at your numbers. Look at your need number first and then your want number. So what's a need number?
Well, a need number is, what do you need to live month to month? Like, what is that figure for you to pay the mortgage, the bills, all the expenses, the dogs, the many dogs that we all have? Like, what is that figure for you to bring in every single month?
Yeah, because once you know that, then if you look at your current set of services, if you've got more than one, pick the one that sells the most and then divide your need number by that sale price number. So for example, I really should have bought my phone for a calculator, but if you needed to bring in what, $3,000?
Yeah.
$3,000 a month, and you've got so if you use your example, Vic, like if you had your puppy classes, you'd have to divide that $3,000 by 80
quid, yeah,
to see how many spaces you would need to sell within that. And for me, I would have had to have done that $3,000 divided by the 350 at my top one, for example. And then you start to look at going like, is that actually feasible to sell that many? And sometimes this is where you go, okay, if that number's not too scary, then we're in a better position than you or I were. So if we're in a better position, we can then start to look at it and go, okay, so maybe I don't need to sell that many, but now look at the number of inquiries that you're bringing in. So if you've then worked out, and again, these are a different set of numbers for ease of my brain. If you need to sell 10 of your thing each month, so if I needed to sell 10 of my one-to-one program and you needed to sell
about 50.
I was just thinking if I did it on your 80, like fucking hell.
A lot.
I'd be like 1,000. No, but like for argument's sake, say we just needed 10 each. We just needed 10 inquiries each. How many inquiries are you getting in each month? Because if you're only getting in 5 and you need to be selling 10, then we're out of whack again. But this is where you've got options, and it's our belief through having gone through this with experience and having tested this on both of our businesses, and we've worked with like over 100 people now in their businesses in getting this model implemented and working well. I'm positive we all have the opportunity to increase our fees. Now, increasing fees can sound like a scary thing, but it can be scary, and it should be scary to a degree, because I think this is growth. We all have to do the uncomfortable thing. But it's being mindful that if you are going to increase those fees by a tenner, how much impact is that going to make? If it's not going to make the impact so that you can hit your need number, it's a pointless increase. If you're looking at your figures and you're thinking, fuck, I need to like double it, and let's say you're already at the 400 mark and now you're going to be asking for 800, your nervous system's probably going to be going, £800. No one's going to pay that. Or maybe even just like 1,000, or maybe even it's more than that. And this is where there's a lot of work to do on your money mindset here.
There is. And then, of course, you've got stuff like, what's the value behind the service? You know, that's a whole other subject, really, when it comes down to pricing, isn't it? Because in my case, I was like, not only do the fees need to increase, I also am not happy with the service that I'm offering. So therefore, I'm creating something new. And in creating something new, they're getting a better result. Therefore, those fees have to increase, because I cannot give, like, I can't give all of that awesome stuff for the fee that I had before, because it literally physically doesn't work. And I will be losing out. So we always talk about win-wins. So that would be a massive lose on my part, a win for the client if I just made that whole experience better, but everything's like the same for me. So I suppose that's another kind of spin-off, really, but it links into this quite nicely, because if you want to do better and you have that like desire to just keep getting better results and doing better for you and having a better life for you, then that's also what you need to start looking at, is what is it that you offer currently? Do you feel like it's the best it can possibly be? Or do you need to start looking at what's happening within that service and maybe creating something brand new? And then you have a brand new pricing structure. And then would you feel better about increasing those fees? For me, when I changed it totally, and I literally ripped it apart, didn't I? And just created something so far removed from what I had that I was like, I feel so comfortable putting it that premium price, because it's a premium service now. Whereas before it was a scratty service and it warranted that price tag. In my eyes, yes, okay, it should have been more, but it was never going to be drastically more, because that wouldn't have sat right with me. So my mindset shifted because I was able to see the value behind it, and therefore someone is going to get a much better outcome from working with me. So it's that kind of mindset shift, I think.
Yeah, it is, because you've got to have that attachment to it. And I'm glad you brought that up, because I think sometimes, I think this is where business coaching can get a bad rep of just increase your fees and then everything's fine.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, no, because if you've got a shit product or service and you increase your fees, then no, it's not a good thing. It's not a good thing for you, and it's not a good thing for the client. It's not that win-win situation. So you have to be so confident that what you're, regardless as to what ticket price this is as well. Like if you're selling something for a tenner, have faith and confidence that you are giving somebody a result. Whatever the result is, you assign a result to that service, and there's the value. So it doesn't matter what the price point is, but knowing how to price your service, definitely look first at those initial need numbers. Like, what do you actually need to live, and how many do you need to sell? And then how many inquiries are you getting? Like, they're all kind of compartmentalized in a box together.
Yep.
Yeah, we'll go with that. Didn't make sense in my head, but I said it anyway. Yeah, so all of those things are kind of attached. And then it's a case of looking at going, right, okay, how can we split it into like a short-term strategy and a long-term strategy then? Because if you're in Schitt's Creek, which for me, I technically was, because I'd got to the point in my job where I was like, I'm done now. I'm out. I'm like, and I had a 6-month notice period. So like, handing my notice in now. I've got 6 months to try and turn this around, and also do a massive handover for work and make the figures work, because in 6 months' time, I've got no income. Or maybe I'm bringing in like 700 quid because I could still sell the odd thing on the side. So really looking at, okay, so now I need to look at a lead gen strategy, because for me, I was going from a hobby business into a full-time business. So I was like, well, how am I going to do that? And that's a whole other conversation we can have. But that's where I went down that paid route initially, because I haven't got time to think about what I want to do. I definitely fell more into that general practitioner role, but focusing on the teaching side. Like, I really enjoyed that. So I was going to say all my messaging, I didn't have anything.
Yeah.
Like there was no social media presence. I don't know if like social, I mean, obviously it was there, wasn't it? But it's not like it is today.
No, it wasn't a massive, it was more about the social aspect then, wasn't
it? Definitely wasn't like a front runner in your head to go, oh, that's where I should be putting.
I never put a huge amount of focus on social media ever for my dog training business.
I don't think I did, you know. I think it was still very much Google My Business and website and SEO and all that side of it. So yeah, I just plowed so much money into that. I think I probably spent 15 grand on getting a website done and SEO and Google ads and going on
It's
Bark.
so funny, isn't it? Because listening to that, that's the beginning of your, the infancy of your dog training business. And that's where your focus was. And mine was literally get out in my local area and speak to as many people as I can, put as many posters up, get in with the vets. Like all of that stuff was that way that I started that business. And it was a lot. It was a graft.
Yeah.
And I would allocate time every single week to get out there. And even back then, there weren't that many people doing it. Like I would say in my town, there was probably like 3 other dog trainers and that was it. And yet I'm still out there. I'm still like going, I'm brand new. No one knows anything about me. I'm a nobody. I need to get out. So like, I just find that really interesting that your immediate kind of starting point was that. And my immediate starting point was doing it a completely different way, but both ways work.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
Because I implemented your strategy within a few months of that. That was like my kickstart thing. It was right. But again, like my whole background, my previous 15 years of work life was agency work.
Yeah.
And
so
I was
that's
doing
why.
website design and SEO. And I was like, right, I'm aware of all this. So we need to be in this space. And then I knew that that wasn't enough for a local area strategy. It worked. It got me started. And then I was like, no, I want to be closer to home. I want to have all this stuff. And that's when door knocking and leaflet drops and all of that stuff came in.
Do you know, I used to really enjoy doing it. I know we hear a lot of this from people going, oh my God, it's such a ball ache. Like it takes so much of my time. Like, and for me, I was like, that is the bit I really enjoyed, is going out and meeting people and connecting with people, approaching other businesses. How can we help each other? Like it just came so naturally to me and was something that I just love doing it. So I thought, well, if I'm going to start a business, this is part and parcel of starting a business. This is the bit that the grunt work that you've got to do that, okay, you don't get immediate thanks for, but you never do with anything, whether it's Facebook ads, you might immediately not get any thanks. It takes a bit of testing.
Takes
Google
time
ads
and
takes a bit of tweaking
there's
and
a
testing.
cost to everything, isn't there?
There is, isn't there? And so like when I hear people saying, oh God, that's taking too long or that's too much of an effort, I'm like, I don't really know what you expect from starting a business. Like it doesn't just go, like we cannot, even in 2025, flick a switch and it's just instantly there as a grown business. It doesn't work like that.
No.
And you should enjoy that bit about nurturing the business and almost like watering a plant. Like you plant a little seed and you watch it grow, and there's some real satisfaction in that. I think
I like this gardening analogy.
it's good, isn't it? I
Yeah.
think it's nice. Yeah.
Yeah, because you definitely don't go and I mean, and for me, I hate gardening. It's like, it's just not my bag at all.
I like a bit of
I
garden.
like a pretty garden.
I don't really know what I'm doing, but I do enjoy a bit of garden.
Yeah, and see, I can't be fucked with it. It's like, give me the end result. That's essentially where I'm
Such a
at.
T profile, Joe.
It's like, I just don't want to do it. Get somebody, I'll get you to do it.
Okay.
But I'm prepared to wait for it, or I'm prepared to pay for it. Like, I think that's the reality, isn't it? It's like, if you want the thing, depending on how quickly you want the thing and what you're willing to do to get the thing, well, you're going to have to invest something, time, energy, money. It's always one of those three, if not a combination, and how much you want to invest in it. And again, this comes back to this whole pricing strategy bit, because for me at that time, like I'd literally just sank 15 grand into ads, website, SEO. I was like, okay, so now I'm 15 grand down and I need to try and recover that on top of my now between 3 and 5K months I need to be bringing in. That's a lot of cash I've got to start bringing through the door. And at 350 quid, it ain't cutting it. It's just not going to work. So this is where we encourage all of you to start by just get a good feel for your numbers. Like, know how many inquiries you're bringing in each month. Know how many of the service you need to sell in order to hit your need number. Know your need number.
And we haven't even talked about the want number yet.
No. Like, your want number's like literally what you... Sounds really obvious, doesn't it? It's a bit like Ronsil. What you want.
Yeah, but having a life is your want number, because you can bring in what you need.
It's like your need is literally just like, right, I can survive and I can maybe have enough to just go on holiday once or twice a year. Like, it's basic living. Not beans on toast kind of living, but you know,
Comfortable living,
the odd,
I suppose.
The odd HelloFresh if that's your bag kind of living.
Gusto. Come on, get it right. But your want is your dreamy stuff. Like what goals have we got here?
You want to move house, or you want that training barn.
Yes, we know a lot of you out there want the training barn. You want the land. You want the land for your own dogs. You want space. You want all of that stuff. Like you want to be able to go on holiday with your dogs more.
You want another dog.
And you want another dog. Yeah. You want to be
when do you want it by?
Yes.
Because this is what's going to help you again with all the figuring out of things is if you, because we're all guilty of doing this, aren't we? Like we're exactly the same. We're only human.
One day I want a defender.
Yes, defender. It's there. It's in the future. It's somewhat obtainable, but I've not put a date on it. So therefore, many months go by.
It's a bit of a pipe dream, really.
It is. And you're going, well, it'd be nice to say, like, I always think 10K months is a thing that gets passed around a lot with anyone we speak to, not just in dog world. 10K months. It's like, okay, cool. What are you going to spend your 10K months on? Because again, if you've not got anything attached to that figure, it's unlikely you're going to achieve it because you don't know the numbers again. So for us, if we were saying like, oh, we do want the defenders, and we do want these defenders, and we want them to have like CBA Joe and CBA Vic on the reg, planned it out and everything. But then we go, okay, so what spec do we want? How much is it? When do we want it by?
Are we going to pay outright for it? Or
is it going to go on like a PCP
finance?
thing?
Yeah.
That's one element. If we want to go on various different retreats and stuff, how much is it? When do we need that money by? How many of the thing do we need to sell in order to get there?
If we want to continue with our business mentors, which we do and we always will, what's that figure and what does that look like?
Yeah. So it's adding in everything, and then you'll have your need number, which is essentially, like we've said, it's almost like your personal just living expenses, isn't it?
Yeah.
And then your want is your personal living expenses plus anything that you want on top, whether that's for your business, whether it's personal, whether it's family, like whatever it is. But what are the numbers? Because if you don't know them, it's really difficult to advise anybody on a pricing strategy. Anybody can say, just increase your fees. Have a high ticket offer. Brilliant. But at what price point?
And what is a high ticket offer?
Yeah, my high ticket to your high ticket could be completely different. And that's fine. It's okay. But as long as there is a high ticket offer within your product suites that would allow you to hit your figures, or be willing to know that you're going to have to sell a lot more of your current service. Oh, my stomach's doing a little
both
growl.
going. Yeah. I don't know what it is about podcasting. I always get like a rumbly stomach. Sorry, Ryan.
Hungry, energy, brain power.
Yeah. It was an early start this morning, so.
Well,
for me.
Well, this is
for
true.
one of us.
But yeah, I think we've got to do this work first. We've got to know all of the figures, all of that, because I think that will then help you figure out what that next part of your strategic journey is. Like, do you have a lead generation problem, or do you have a sales conversion problem, or do we have a pricing strategy problem? In reality, it's probably a mixture of all three, but at least it will kind of steer you in a direction. And for me, like, these short-term wins are always, what can we do within our current product suite that we can make better? So you're putting more outcome-based stuff into it that you can increase the fees on. And if you're only getting, like, I don't know, I only used to get like 5 inquiries a month.
Yeah, about the same.
And so for me, I was like, well, if I'm getting 5, and if I can up my sales skills and I can sell 3 or 4 of them instead of 1 or 2, and the price point's at a price point that if I sell 3 or 4, I'm good, I've hit my need number, then I'm happy. I don't really need to work on lead generation. I need to work on sales and pricing. Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely.
Whereas if actually I've worked out that I need to be selling 20 and I'm only getting 5 in, and even if I increased my price point, I'm like, fuck, actually, each of those programs now needs to be, I don't know, like $1,000, whatever, I don't know. Then I'm like, well, maybe that's not going to work. So I now need to work on lead gen as well as the other stuff. Helpful?
I think so. I'm going to say yeah.
I'll take it.
I'm going to
Ryan's
speak
nodding
for you all.
Thank you, Ryan, for Nodding.
Your input.
Yeah. Right. Until next time, folks. Oh, what are you going to do?
Oh my
Go.
God, we literally did ooh at the same time. What was your ooh?
I forgot now because I got too excited by you oohing with me.
Well, I was going to say, if you would like to leave us, oh my God, the googly, the rumbly stomach. I was going to say, if you'd like to leave us a Google review,
I'm down for that.
then please do. Canine Business Academy. 5-star reviews, please.
Yeah. I was also going to say, go and check us out on YouTube if you've not already and hit the subscribe button.
YT. Check us out on YT.
Yeah. Can we do like a YMCA thing? YT.
No. Till next time, folks.